Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I have no script today. I have no poise. I just have raw feeling, and it has to do with Sarah Gailey's Eat the Rich comic. This is super random, kind of out of the blue. I don't normally read comics, graphic novels, but I am a huge fan of Sarah Gailey. If you look over here, I have all of Sarah Gailey's books right here. Sarah Gailey is one of my favorite authors. I think they're incredible. I love their character work. And when I saw they had a horror comic coming out in 2021, I was ecstatic and I pre-ordered the bind-up. So this is all 5 volumes in one. And now let me tell you why I absolutely sobbed reading this. Let me tell you what this comic is about, and then I can get into all of my feelings. This is going to be pretty vulnerable. This is a deeply personal review. This is about a young woman. She's in college, she's in law school, and she and her longtime boyfriend are going back to his family's house for the summer so she can meet his family, and they think they're going to get married, so he wants to meet the parents. And he is super duper wealthy. He is in the 1%. And so our main character, Josephine, feels out of place, but she wants to get in with these people because not only is she hoping to marry her boyfriend and, you know, be a part of their family, but she also wants to take advantage of the connections that she could make in her career as a lawyer. And horror ensues when they're on this island called Crestfall Bluffs. It's a little island community of all wealthy people, and they get up to some shady stuff, and it is really horrifying. This whole concept and what Sarah Gailey does with the horror elements of this story is a direct commentary on the uber wealthy in the United States, the 1% and the 99%. And when the 99% feel desperate and feel like they don't have a choice, they're willing to do anything to just survive. A lot of the servants, the staff of the wealthy family, how do I say this without spoiling things, put up with signing a horrible contract just to access basic health care that their employer provides. They are willing to give up everything just to survive a little bit longer in this society. This is pretty dystopian, but it also has a very direct commentary on the state of healthcare and the United States wealth disparities that we have going on in the United States right now. As a disabled person, this was hard to read because some of these staff members that we get to know are so sick, and their reason for signing this horrible contract with these wealthy people is so that they can survive, they can provide for their children who are on, you know, who have cancer, and it's not even hidden. It's spelled out extremely clearly why these people are doing this. And as someone who is chronically ill, someone who is in and out of the doctor all the time, like I am, who has a chronic issue that is never gonna go away, who's kind of, I'm a little desperate for care myself that is affordable, this really, really hit me. There's a character named Petal. She is the nanny of the baby of this wealthy family, and she also has fibromyalgia. And I don't want to cry, but when she was telling her story to Joe about why she signed this contract, why she's okay with what the rich people get up to, I burst into tears. I could not handle it because I understand that desperation. I told myself I wasn't gonna cry for this stupid comic book review, but here we are. I understand her desperation deeply to my core. This spoke so clearly to me and people like me that I just burst into tears. That is something I've learned about horror as a genre, as I've kind of been expanding my horizons, as I've been going on this reading journey of reading horror. The thing that horror can do is it shines a lens so brightly on some element or some aspect of society. The horror in this novel is not what the rich people get up to. It's the situation that led them to be able to get away with this nefarious activity. And the horror in this comic is that it's real. These people are real people who are dealing with these health issues, who are desperate for survival. I see myself in these people who are getting taken advantage of, who are being brutalized by the rich, and I see myself so clearly. And that's what the horror genre is able to do, is so clearly shine a light on reality. Enough with the personal stuff. This is a 5-volume series, so this is it in its entirety. The one criticism I would say is it felt kind of like a prequel. Like, the end happens and it's very, very rushed. It's in like 2 or 3 pages of comic, and I would have loved to see the consequences of the ending unfold a little bit longer. But I think for what this is, it accomplished so much and it meant the world to me. Without spoiling things, I'm gonna show you a couple of pages just so you can get a feel for the art style. I really like the color scheme of this comic. I love the art style. It's saturated, but it's also kind of in a muted scheme. Here's another one. It just feels very cohesive. It adds to the horror elements. This is adult. This is gory, this is violent, so this is an adult comic. And this is also queer. So not only is this just an excellent horror story, commentary, but also queer representation, disability representation. I don't have much else to say other than that, like, personal story of why this little comic meant so much to me. But if you're interested in reading this, I highly recommend it. Sarah Gailey is one of my favorite authors, obviously, and I think they did it again for me in this one. So I gave this 5 stars, despite my criticisms, because I had such an emotional and visceral reaction to this. I can't give it anything less than 5 stars. I really, really like this. So if you like horror, if you like comic books, I think you should give this a try. It's really short and really quick to consume. Anyway, that is really all I had to say about Eat the Rich by Sarah Gailey. The artists are Pius Bach and Roman Titov as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video of mine very soon. Bye!